A very good afternoon. It is a minute past 1 p.m. My name is Deo Asiimwe. I welcome you to this broadcast of KDR News. Now the detail. A 48-year-old man has allegedly committed suicide on a mango tree in Kiwale district. The deceased has been identified as John Nkarubo Abudu, a resident of Busesabi in Matale sub-county Kiwale district, whose lifeless body was discovered by residents last night dangling on a mango tree near his home. The cause of the deceased to commit suicide remains unclear, but preliminary investigations indicate that Nkarubo had an accumulated bank loan of 20 million shillings, which could have forced him to end his own life. By press time today morning, Nyamara police had reached the scene to investigate the matter. KDR will bring you more details on this story in subsequent bulletins. Away from that, science secondary school head teachers have become one of the highest paid groups of public officers at the local government level, with their monthly salary now increased to 6.5 million shillings. This development follows a revised salary structure issued by the Ministry of Public Service in a circular dated 19th of this month. The document, signed by the Permanent Secretary Catherine Bitarakwati, outlines updated salary scales for post-primary teachers, laboratory staff, and specific officers within the Uganda Police Force and prison services. Under the new structure, science head teachers will see their pay jump from 2.3 million shillings to 6.5 million shillings, while science deputy head teachers will receive an increase from 1.7 million shillings to 4.5 million shillings per month. These changes are effective July this year, which means that the beneficiaries will be getting retroactive top-up payments for 4 months, while science head teachers and their deputies receive pay rise from the government. Their counterparts, arts head teachers and their deputies, primary school head teachers, and those teaching humanities and arts subjects are left with gloomy faces, opposing the salary disparity that has seen them earning peanuts. Following this development, the Uganda National Teachers Union, UNATU, has announced its intention to take on a strike next year if the remaining teachers are not considered for a pay rise in the upcoming budget. Philbert Baguma, the UNATU Secretary General, reveals that they have already notified the relevant ministries about the issue as required by law, noting that their members will not enter classrooms come next term, regardless of the circumstances, come rain or shine. Meanwhile, in addition to the head teachers and deputy head teachers, men and women in the Uganda Police Force and Uganda Prison Service, including those in legal, scientific, professional and general categories, from the rank of Sergeant of Police, Sergeant Warder, Wardress to Special Police Constable, have also benefited from the revised salary structure. Now, the government has announced plans to compensate Patricia Linda Nyakairima, widow of the late General Aronda Nyakairima, with 11 billion shillings for a disputed piece of land in Chankwanzi district. The land, approximately 5 square miles in size, spans villages of Cherere North, Cherere East, Chiyuni Central, Chiriajobyo West, and Kibanda in Nigayaza sub-county. In February 2022, over 1,000 families residing on the contested land were forcefully evicted, sparking outrage and protests. Residents accused Patricia Linda Nyakairima of fraudulently acquiring the land title despite their long-standing settlement since the 1940s. Prime Minister Robin Nabanja, addressing affected residents during a burial of an elderly resident in Kiyuni village, revealed that President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni directed the government to compensate Linda Nyakairima to allow displaced families to return on their land. Nabanja stated that 3 billion shillings will be paid this financial year as part of the phased 11 billion shillings compensation package. Dr. John Impuga, the Chankwanzi Local Council 5 chairperson, highlights the devastating impact of the eviction on residents' livelihoods and calls for swift government action to ensure the families return to their land. Leo Sam Sebalunzi, the Local Council 3 chairperson of Vigaya as a sub-county, has welcomed the compensation initiative, noting that many affected families have since fallen into abject poverty. Now, crossing over to Kasese district, the residents are calling for urgent government intervention, accusing the resident district commissioner RDC Joel Walisimbi of obstructing efforts to resolve a long-standing land dispute that has left over 47,000 people displaced. The dispute resolves around Ibuga Kisanga area known as Kyabatukura, where residents claim they were forcefully evicted in 2007 under the pretext of resettling refugees. Many say that the eviction led to violence, loss of life, and severe disruption to their livelihoods. Since then, the displaced residents have lived in an internally displaced persons camp in Bigando, facing harsh living conditions. In 2009, the aggrieved residents filed a lawsuit against the government seeking justice for their plight, and High Courts in Kabarole referred the matter to arbitration, resulting in an agreement to demarcate the disputed land's boundaries. However, the victims claim the agreement remains unfulfilled. Residents now allege that the resident district commissioner Joel Walsimbi has colluded with illegal occupants of the land, further delaying their resettlement. Dixon Imbusa, the vice chairperson of the Ibuga Kyabatukura victims, accused the RDC of using his position to protect land grabbers at the expense of the displaced community. Aggrieved residents are now appealing to the president to intervene and address the actions of the RDC, arguing that their struggle is not just about the reclaiming of their ancestral land, but also about ending over a decade of marginalizing and hardships. However, RDC Joel Walsembe has denied the allegations, asserting that he has no personal interest in the disputed land. Now, Simon Peter Mulisa, the Kole District Internal Security Officer, has died in a motor accident in Kiriandongo District. The accident occurred last evening in Kaduku 2 Village, Masindi Port Sub-County. And according to information, Mulisa was driving a Toyota Hilux with vehicle registration number UG 4543-C when he failed to negotiate a sharp corner in Kaduku Village. The vehicle veered off the road, overturned several times, and Mulisa was killed instantly. Reports indicate that Musila, who was alone in the vehicle at the time of the accident, was on his way from Masindi town, heading to Masindi Port Ferry Station to connect to Kole District. Julius Alan Hatchiza, the Albertine Regional Police spokesperson,